mean, so I could make you wait until like 6 minutes and 7, 8 minutes into the video to tell you exactly what mindset shift I'm referring to. But what's the point in that? Like, I'm not gonna even make y'all wait around. I can just tell you right now because there's gonna be a lot to unpack within that statement. Anyway, the mindset shift that I'm referring to, that mindset shift that's going to take you from that sad girl to that magnetic woman that literally has that energy that just brings any and everything to her. I'm talking about that woman who literally you feel like everything she touches, it turns to gold. That mindset shift that I'm talking about is realizing pressure is all in the imagination. That's a good one, ain't it? I told you we got a lot to unpack about that statement. I have to get this new job. Like, you don't understand, if I don't get this job, everything that I've done up until this point in my life means absolutely nothing. So you know what? The next 6 months, I am going to show up here every single day, early as I possibly can, and I'm gonna leave as late as I possibly can. I'm going to work so much overtime, it's not gonna be funny. I am going to prove to little Miss Brittany over here that I deserve this promotion. I deserve this promotion far more than she does. I want you to do me a favor. Tell me what you heard. What exactly did you hear? Because I'm gonna tell you what I heard. I heard I'm desperate. I heard I'm going to neglect myself. I heard I need to be perfect. I heard nobody can see me fail. I also heard I need to prove that I'm better to somebody. And then I also heard that nothing else that I've done up until this point in my life matters, because if I don't get this one thing, nothing else matters. That's what I heard. That sounds like a sad and miserable person, doesn't it? Because it is a sad and miserable person. I mean, you talking about somebody turning something into gold, baby? No, they're turning everything into stone. Finally realizing pressure is literally just in my imagination. That is the mindset that gave me my life back. It gave me my life back because why? Now I have my perspective back in order. And on top of that, I'm telling you, I feel like I have such magnetic energy now. It's crazy. So if you are somebody who is trying to reinvent your life, you're trying to upgrade your life, you're trying to glow up, honey, whichever statement fits best with what you roll with, okay? If you are in that point of your life, then definitely keep on watching, because like I said, we need to unpack this realization of realizing that pressure is all in our imagination. So welcome back, my loves, to another video. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. As always, you know, I have to let y'all know, if you are interested in the cutesy stuff, the style, the glam, the beauty, all of that cutesy stuff, you can go over to my short form platforms. Links are down below. Because y'all already know here on YouTube, we have to keep it all about the conversation. Let's go ahead and jump into imagination versus reality. So what if I told you guys that a lot of the frustration and the stress that you are dealing with in your life right now is all coming from this made-up story that you've generated? We have self-imposed pressure. So a lot of the pressure that we are putting ourselves under is not coming from outside sources. It is literally coming from you. So let's break this down so we can obviously have a little bit more understanding. I want you to think about something that you desire, something that you just have to have in your life immediately right now. Like, you are so desperate for this thing to happen in your life. Is this pressure in your imagination, or is this pressure reality for you? That pressure is in your imagination, and here is why. First of all, you lack patience. When we lack patience, what is the first thing we do? We tell ourselves, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. I'm not working hard enough. I could be giving 1,000% more every single day. So what are you telling yourself? Like, what is your natural response to what you're telling yourself? You are telling yourself, put yourself under pressure. It starts causing us to put a self-imposed pause. What did I say? Self-imposed. I want you to highlight that. Self-imposed pressure that starts to kick us into this overdrive mode where we start just overworking. If you are already giving 500% per day, and that's a lot. I'm the type of person, I'm gonna give 1% per day because I want my changes to stick. But I'm talking, you give 500% a day, and then you think, well, I'm not doing enough, let me kick it up to 1,000, baby. Are you not realizing that you are going to burn yourself out? Of course you're going to put this pressure on yourself. You were already doing more than enough, but you told yourself something and you accepted that as true when it was not true. So let's make something very clear real quick, because obviously the example that I gave you guys was based on a desire. If you're wanting something immediately in your life, or you're desperate for something, that's basically a desire. Well, here's the thing. We have to be careful. There's a fine line between allowing your desires to motivate you or allowing your desires to consume you. You never want to cross this line and let your desires consume you. Desires that motivate you, they keep you on track. They keep you from getting distracted. But on the flip side of that, when you have desires that have really just consumed you, they've taken over your life, like everything that you think about is this desire, that starts causing addictive behavior. So if I'm somebody who I'm working, again, I'm giving 500% already, but I want more and I want what I want right now, I'm gonna start overworking. I'm gonna start being addicted to working overtime. I'm gonna start being addicted to staying in the office until midnight and neglecting my own self-care because I just want this thing so bad and so desperately. And on top of that, then you have to also deal with impulsive decisions. You're gonna start making decisions that are based off of you thinking that you can get this one particular thing faster because you desire it so much, you want it so badly. You're not going to think about the decisions that you need to think about in the moment. It's not coming from a logical aspect. It's coming from, is this going to get me my desire? When your desires consume you, it's adding all kind of pressure. All this unnecessary pressure, all this pressure that you think is real, is not real. Let's go over another example of imagination versus reality. You are somebody who has to appear to be perfect and you accept nothing less than that. So that pressure that's built up behind giving this perfectionism, this perfection lifestyle, is that imagination or is it your reality? I mean, duh, that one's clear. It's all in your imagination. Mentally, honey, you are straining yourself. Like, you are creating so much stress and anxiety in your life right now. You are literally like the little teapot and the little lid is just like, you're gonna explode at any moment. So where is the pressure coming from this time? Because on the last example, we figured out the pressure was stemming from this thought that you created in your head that you weren't doing enough. So somebody who is just, they have to appear to be perfect. They just need to have everyone look at them as if they have no flaws at all in their life. Where is that pressure stemming from? It's stemming from that person being afraid to fail. They do not accept the fear of failure. They're scared of it. They stay far away from it. So instead, they would rather try to make it look like every single aspect of their life is perfect. Even if they have to fake it, they would rather go that route than to actually experience failure. A person who lives their life with perfectionism is somebody who really believes that these unrealistic standards that they have accepted and that they do on a regular basis, they think that these unrealistic standards are what have given them their success. But the last time I checked, if you are going to bed and you're crying yourself to sleep at night because you feel like you have to keep up with this storyline, this narrative that you've created, and you feel like you aren't even authentically being yourself, but you can't be yourself authentically because, again, you have to keep up with this storyline that you've put out there and this perfect little life and this perfect little world that you've created. It's not real. If you ask me, that's not success, baby. That's imprisonment. Now, here's a big one that causes us to put all of this unnecessary pressure, all of this self-imposed pressure, is comparison. If you have an ounce of comparison in your body, you are comparing yourself, you're trying to be in competition with somebody else, reality is nowhere among you, sweetheart. We just love to create these stories in our head that we have to prove that we're better than this person over here and prove that we're better than that person over here. Why do you feel this need to prove anything to anybody? The pressure we put on ourselves from comparison, that didn't just start with social media. Like, come on, let's be honest. Think about when you were in grade school or middle school, for that matter. For me, I used to look at the popular girls. Like every girl, I feel like guys don't really go through this as much as girls, but girls, when you're in grade school, especially when you go to middle school, it really happens in middle school because we're trying to, figure out who all the cute boys are. And that's when you really are, you're growing up, you're maturing, you're going through you're going through puberty and all of that. I wanted to be the popular girl. I wanted to have that attention on me. I wanted to have all the cute boys' numbers and all of that. So what happens when you're not getting that attention? You start looking at all of the people that are around you that do have that attention. So I started looking at the popular girls like, okay, what about them is better than me? So I started looking at how they dress. I started looking at the clothing stores they shop at. So I'm like, to me, oh, if you can dress like that, I can do it better. Let me prove to you that I'm better than you. Let me prove to you that I can end up dressing better than you, that my hair can be better. So like middle school, I really started trying to, I came up in the age where you had the hard waterfall style in the front. You had this super tight ponytail with the waterfall ponytail. I was teaching myself how to do all of that because I'm like, let me prove to you I'm better than you. So I'm comparing myself to girls, and I'm being in competition with these girls who literally did not know they were in competition with me. Listen to how crazy this sounds. When you compare yourself to somebody, it's almost like you're just naturally going to end up in competition with that person because it's like you see them as a threat, basically. But isn't it crazy that you're in competition with somebody, but they don't know they're in the competition? Like how crazy does that sound? When I sat back and thought about it, I'm like, damn, I'm trying to be in competition with somebody and they don't even know they're in the race. Like I said, this started way before social media. This starts when we're kids, when we're comparing and putting ourselves in competition as kids. We just never fixed the behavior as we grew up. And then when social media came into play, oh my gosh, it amplified everything. And we have to remember, social media, we only see highlights, people. Like, we only see the highlights of people's lives. Obviously, when I get on here or when I get on my TikTok and my Instagram, I'm gonna give you the highlights. I'm gonna give you the pretty moments. I'm gonna give you my perfect hairstyles and my perfect pictures and all of that, because obviously it's a highlight reel of your life. It's an overall highlight of what is going on in your life. Do you think I'm gonna get on here on a bad hair day and show you that my hair is all over the place? No, we can't compare ourselves to somebody's highlight of their life. You shouldn't be comparing yourself to anybody at all, because this is your timeline. Remember, if you haven't checked out the last video, How to Conquer Rejection, I talked about timelines in that video. This is your timeline. So you should not be comparing your process, your journey in life, to anybody else's. Let's look at the real realities of what we've been discussing. The real reality is, who is the only person that cares whether you fail or not? Who is the only person that cares about that thing that you desire so much, whether you get it 6 months from now or a year and a half from now? Who is the person that cares about that? Who is the one that's going to suffer from those impulsive decisions or that addictive behavior that we discussed? Who is the person that's actually aware that they're in the competition? It's all you. Every last answer to every one of those questions was you. So the reality is, you have a you problem. The reason that you have all of this pressure is because of you. The reason that you have all of this stress and frustration and anxiety and worry and all of these negative feelings going on is because of you. That pressure that comes with trying to be perfect and making it seem like you live in this perfect world, your fault. The pressure of comparison and feeling like you always have to be in competition with the whole entire world, your fault. Obviously, it's gonna be super hard to just walk away from your current life as it is. Like, who really can do that? You just wake up and decide, I'm just gonna remove every single quality, characteristic, trait that I have, and I'm gonna be this new person. That doesn't happen like that. I mean, I really wish that it did, because then I wouldn't have to go down the road that I'm going right now. But that's the beauty of it. When you put yourself in a situation to go down a different road and begin exposing yourself to yourself, then you do fall in love with putting the work in as you're going along. So like I said, no, we can't just wake up and automatically have every single quality and trait change, but we can wake up and decide, I want to do something different. When we decide to adopt that new reality, the first thing that we want to do is every single desire that you have right now, walk away from it. Leave it right where it is. Now, that is one thing that you can wake up and decide to leave in the distance, because we need to figure out, what do we truly desire? What is it about the things that you desired previously that kept you so like just stuck on that one thing? What was it that kept you stuck there? Because honestly, when you're changing and you're really like trying to work on your mindset, your perspectives, you're healing from the inside out, a lot of the things that you thought you desire, you don't even desire anymore. I used to desire being a big time beauty creator. And yes, that's still part of what I desire, but that's not the sole thing that I desire. Like in my process now, what I desire is a community that is actually on the same path that I am, on self-growth, on personal development, working on my confidence, being an actual better version of myself. I desire that more than the whole beauty thing that I was desiring beforehand, which is part of the reason why I was stuck in that imaginary world that I was living in. I was stuck there because that was the only thing that I can see. Well, then when I allowed myself to be like, I want to live in reality. I want to change. I want to be magnetic. I want to embrace this magnetic energy. How do I get there? I had to start with leaving the desires that I thought I had, leaving them right where they were, and walking away from them. Adopting a new reality for yourself means that you are going to be extremely intentional. I have been screaming about intentionality for some years now, and guess what? I'm going to continue to scream about intentionality, because without intentionality, you will not make any type of change in your life. Become extremely intentional with your thoughts. And it's so funny because I was just talking to my sister about this morning. She was like, we can't control our thoughts, which we know that. We know that we cannot control the thoughts. Like sometimes stuff will just pop in my head and I'll be like, where did that come from? Like, why am I thinking about a person from 15 years ago that I went to high school with? Like sometimes random stuff will just come in my mind. I can't help that. And honestly, I think that's because obviously we have a life experience. We've experienced all of these different people, situations, emotions, and a lot of that stuff will, come to the forefront of our mind sometimes. So yes, we can't control our thoughts. However, we can redirect it. So when we have these negative thoughts, we can shift it. So when you do have that thought that, oh my gosh, I want to slip back into my old ways because I feel like I'm not doing enough and I need to work harder, stop yourself. Redirect and say, you know what? I am doing enough. I'm doing more than what I did before, because now I have focused on me being healthy, mind, body, and spirit. I'm in alignment, but I'm also making moves in my career, with my relationships, friendships. So you're actually growing. Now, obviously, yes, we do want to have intentionality with our routines, with habits. As we're changing, we want to make sure that we're changing our habits and our routines as well, so that they can reflect where we are in life and where we're trying to go. But you want to put the most intention behind your thoughts. And the reason I say that is because, you guys, our thoughts can really take us some places. Like I said, everything about your life experience is stored up here. So yes, randomly you are going to have random thoughts. Sometimes you can't control the things that you think about. But like I said, when you put intentionality behind rerouting, every single time your mind tries to have a thought and that's not a thought that you want to have, you have to reroute it. So we have to put intentionality behind paying attention to what we're thinking about, paying attention to these random thoughts that are coming in our head, and paying attention to strengthening that redirection, so that every time we have a thought that we don't want to have, we can hurry up and shift away from it. If we want to adopt a new reality, one of the things that you are going to go on a quest for is self-actualization. So I want to pull up a chart real quick. When I was preparing my notes for this, I came across something called Maslow's hierarchy, and I'm going to put the picture over there. So on this chart, it basically says to reach self-actualization, you have to go through some steps first. So you start with the basics: food, water, shelter, safety, security, and stability, relationships, sense of belonging and love, esteem, respect for yourself and others. And then you finally reach self-actualization, which is realizing your full potential. The reason that we have that pressure that we put on ourselves is because we don't truly believe in our potential. When you truly believe in your potential, you're not worried about anybody else's path. You're not worried about what steps they took. You're not worried about anything else that anybody else has going on. You are focusing on, what can I do to build my character? What can I do to build my traits? What can I do to be calmer, be a better listener? So you're thinking about all of the things that are necessary for you to reach your fullest potential. So part of this new reality that we want to adopt is realizing that, yes, we can have that better energy. Yes, we can do X, Y, and Z without the need of stress and anxiety trying to push us along. We can actually achieve these things, which again is why you end up gaining that magnetic energy, because you are so in tune with yourself. You have that self-actualization. You know you're capable. When you know you're capable and you are like really in the zone, you're aligned, yes, you're automatically gonna get that magnetic energy. Do we not realize how easy it is to gain magnetic energy? Like, I want you guys to think about everything that I've said in this video. Every single thing that keeps us with this built up pressure, anxiety, stress, living in this imaginary world, every piece of that was because we focused on outward things. To gain magnetic energy, all you have to do is look within. All you have to do is focus on an inward cleanse, changing yourself and healing from the inside out. That is how you gain magnetic energy. Because think of it like this. When you think of somebody who is magnetic, what is the first thing that you think of? First thing I think of, I'm thinking of somebody who just naturally draws me in. And why are we naturally drawn to these people? Because we can tell that they are true, they're real, they're authentic. That is magnetic energy. Somebody who can embody that, they know who they are. They are secure in who they are. They don't pretend to be somebody else. They just are who they are, and it naturally pulls people to them. So if you really want to get from that sad girl stage in your life, you really want to upgrade your life, change it, glow up, all of the things that I said from the beginning, you have got to decide to go on that quest to reach that self-actualization. And once you reach that self-actualization, you should be at the point where you also start gaining that magnetic energy, because again, you know who you are. So then at that point, yes, everything that you touch, it is going to turn to gold. So that is it on today's video, you guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, found some inspiration from it, found some motivation to really look inwardly and start doing the self-work. If we just decided to do the self-work, a lot of us would probably be a lot happier in life. But what I can honestly say is that now that I've started doing the self-work on myself, baby, I'm living life, okay? Happy as can be. Now, yes, I have my moments. I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I realize who the I am, okay? But anyway, I really appreciate you guys being here. Comment down below. Tell me if you enjoyed this video. Tell me if you have gone on a self-actualization quest in your life, and if you're ready to, what do you feel like you're going to reveal to yourself, or what is something that you want to be revealed to yourself? So if you feel like sharing, or if you're comfortable with sharing, go ahead. But I know some of you guys kind of watching, you support from afar without really commenting. I get that too. I've been that person too. But anyway, again, really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next video. So bye, my love.